Hi, my name is Mia, and welcome back to episode 5 of the Yap section. Today we're going to be talking about fashion news and how it reflects on modern-day job struggles. First and foremost, the biggest headline of the week was Anna Wintour is officially stepping down from editor-in-chief of Vogue. While she will remain in a position as the global editor of all the Vogues worldwide, she is finally relinquishing her control to who knows yet. We're not quite sure, but it'll be okay. I am personally very happy about this because while Anna Wintour has created quite a legacy for herself, I will say her recent issues, if not kind of always of Vogue, have been on the more boring side. And before you come for my throat, I need you to go look up any other Vogue in the world. British Vogue, Chinese Vogue, Filipino Vogue, any of the other Vogues, and you will see that there's more of an artistic vision than kind of just the celebrities that we have on the covers. I miss having models on the cover with a story to tell on the cover, with something to say. It really just kind of feels like lately it's been, I love Zendaya, but Zendaya in a rose dress posing fanciful, but that doesn't really say anything about anything. It just says Zendaya is pretty and she's on the cover of Vogue. With her step down, though, has also come with her controversial appointment of a creative director to Vanity Fair. And apparently this person is childhood best friends with her daughter, is not very well liked amongst the Condé Nast staff, and arguably has enough experience to even be heading up Vanity Fair. And I think it really points in the direction of something that we're really seeing in a trend in the job market lately. Not that it's always not been there, but it's not what you know, but rather who you know these days. There are probably 50 other, if not more, people who have way more experience than the person that she appointed, but because he had that very personal connection with her, he's the one who ultimately got the job. Networking, it is very important, but I don't think at the end of the day it should be everything, especially for things that have such influence like these magazines over culture and fashion and everything else. Anna Wintour's step down also points in the direction of this kind of creative director, editor-in-chief shuffle that's been going on within the fashion industry right now. I'm going to use my phone because memorizing who's moved where has become too much. The shuffle's been crazy. Just to name a few, we've had new Balenciaga director Pier Paolo move from Valentino to replace Demna, who moved to Gucci and replaced Sabato de Sarno. Then Jack McCullough and Lazaro Hernandez from Proenza Schouler moved to Loewe to replace the absence of Jonathan Anderson, who moved to Dior and is focusing on his own brand, also JW Anderson. I will say there is a very interesting pattern, too, in who's been moving where, and I will say that there is a certain lack of color to these fashion directors. And it's very disappointing to see after there was such a large push, especially in the fashion world, for diversity, equity, inclusion only 5 years ago, back in 2020, and it was a really hopeful direction, especially in 2023 when we got the first Black female director of British Vogue. And if you guys have seen her new cover of Doechii, it's absolutely amazing and also makes my point about Anna Wintour's covers of Vogue. But it's going to show that there's being a block out of new talent of color, of female talent, of all these people who are just getting their voices shut out. And it seems like the only way they can be heard lately is to either create their own brand or just network the hell out of it. And even the networking, they're probably still going to have someone else picked over them. But the old guard is meant to train the new guard, hand down the knowledge, pass down the knowledge. And I feel like that's something that's not happening, not just in fashion, but in the job market in general. Instead of passing it down, these older guards are holding on to the reins as hard as possible and refusing to let go. And it's kind of resulted in this stagnation of industries like music, fashion, and movies. We're seeing a lot of the same stuff or older stuff that's reinvented, but the amount of new stuff is definitely the smallest coming out. And I think it's also why the fashion industry has had such a hard time lately. A lot of profit margins, especially in these designer brands, are dropping and plummeting because people are getting tired of buying same old, same old. Why buy the new collection that's released in 2025 if it looks exactly like the collection that was released in 2024? I feel like we really see this in particular with brands like Chanel, who, if you looked at their Paris Couture Week, it was just giving something that was released in 1995, 2005, 2024, they all look the same. And I understand that tweed is the signature, that these silhouettes are the signature, but come on, anything new? Anything at all, please. Evolve with the times. You can keep the old isn't going anywhere, but what would Chanel be if they appointed someone younger who had a better understanding of younger audiences? Would they pull in a whole new demographic? Would they surprise the older demographic as well? Would they become trendsetters instead of just trend stayers? And the older guard has so much knowledge to pass down, but it's just not being given. It's almost kind of selfish the way that the younger generation has to go out and learn everything for themselves. And luckily, we live in an era of internet and so much access to information and technology and all of that, that it's not as hard to access that information. But also, it's missing that person-to-person connection. It's missing that person-to-person detail. We're losing the humanization out of arts like fashion. Because we're starting to rely on things like AI or just older knowledge. While there are beacons of hope within the fashion world, I think we need to either focus more on those beacons or let them grow and expand and have these creative directors and editor-in-chiefs and all these other people start opening doors for the new guard to allow the industry to expand and evolve and not die out and lose these profit margins. And again, this isn't just for fashion. This is for any industry out there. That's my take on it, and I will see you guys next time for episode 6. Bye. Thanks for joining us at the Yap section, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.